Welcome back to Beauty and Beyond. So we discussed already appearance and behavior. And the last letter is the letter C, which means communication. This one I believe is very, very important. We have to consider a lot before we even open our mouth and say something, right? Like yung tone, volume, inflection, and even the choice of words, okay? So now, let's ask our experts about the letter C, communication, okay?
Yes.
I know that we didn't have enough time to talk about appearance and behavior. I mean, I myself, super excited pa rin ako, but then again, we have to complete the letter C, okay? Communication. I think, Dina, how long have you been a communication expert?
So this is now my 34th year.
Hi, 34
Yes,
years.
34th year, yes.
Wow.
It's already like breathing to me because it's just so big a part of my life. And you'll be so, okay, I do have some role models. For the female communicator, it's Dorothy Sarnoff, the author of Speech Can Change Your Life. In America, she was a very successful opera singer for 10 years.
Opera singer,
yes,
okay.
until she decided to go into the corporate world, and she became a speech consultant to politicians, celebrities.
That's why it changed the life.
Right,
no? It's
and
life-changing talaga.
And as a result, she was even able to help Jimmy Carter win the presidency of the USA.
Wow.
Because one of the things she noticed was that he was smiling ear to ear, grin, which is so like artificial.
Okay.
People just could not believe that it's his real smile because it was just like
Fake
that.
na fake kasi.
Yeah, so she told him, tone down. And when he started to tone down his grinning ear to ear, but just up to here, that's when he started getting more rapport from his audience.
Now, Dina, in your 34 years of experience, I'm just thinking, kasi there are still a lot of people na ang number one fear is public speaking.
Indeed.
Diba? I mean, we are very lucky that we can speak in front of people,
Right,
diba?
right.
But there was a time that I was shy to even stand up in front of the class. Until I heard myself on the microphone, I got even more scared when I heard myself on the microphone. So I never thought that I would become a trainer, di ba? Na TV host, Knocks. Okay. Pero, totoo, number one fear pa din. Dina, bakit kaya number one fear pa rin ang public speaking?
Yes, because automatically, the person, when he is put up front before any audience, the first thing that goes to his mind is, oh my God, are they going to believe me or not? Are they going to reject what I'm going to say? Oh, they might make fun of me.
Or negative.
He's thinking of all these things because he's very conscious that everybody's looking at him. Now, when he gets to break through that, these doubts and fears, and the only way to do it is practice. There is simply no other way. I'm telling you, you can read all you want, you can listen, you can observe, you just need to do it.
It's the feeling that you need to get used to it, no?
It's facing your fear.
It's facing your fear. I mean, it's not easy to be in front of a crowd na sobrang daming matang nakatingin sa'yo. And I remember when I attend beauty pageants, people were actually watching you, and I can feel that negative energy wherein they were actually waiting for you to commit a mistake.
Yes.
Parang, ay, napaka-negative ng energy. So you have to fight for that. So I really feel for people na nasa stage and everything. It's not easy, no?
Yeah.
Lay, internationally speaking, okay, ito mas mahirap because hindi mo ka-culture, hindi mo ka-lahi, yun haharapin mo. Paano mo nagawa yun on your first year?
The thing that I've actually come to realize is when you try to talk to other nationalities, keep it simple.
Keep it simple.
Keep it simple.
Okay.
We actually have a habit as Filipinos. We like the big words. We like the highfalutin words. Meron pa ngang iba sa atin.
Palaabok pa yan.
The more na hindi ka naintindihan ang feeling mo, the more na
Ang
magaling
talino.
ka. But that's not how it's supposed to be. That's why it's called communication, di ba? For you to be able to impart to people what you want them to understand. Now, if you use big words,
paano nga ka makakommunicate?
paano ka maintindihan? So, certain nationalities na very limited lang yung English nila.
That's right.
Diba? Na, lalo na yung countries na maybe English is their second or third language din.
Okay.
Third or fourth pa yung iba.
Okay.
If you don't keep it simple, hindi kayo magkakaintindihan.
That's right. That wala no communication.
Use the simplest words.
Okay. Now, we're talking about communication using words. But what about the other ways of communicating?
Yes, of course, the body language.
The body language.
Body
I
language.
believe in that. That's my favorite topic.
The actually I would call the weakness of most public speakers is when they cannot establish eye contact.
Okay.
Because this is what happens. Okay, you're up front. And of course, the worst thing you can do is read from your notes. Immediately, there's no eye contact with the audience.
Yeah, because you are
it's a
busy
turn-off.
reading.
Yeah, it's a turn-off.
Oo.
And me, I'm in the audience, I'll say, oh my God, he's not talking to me, he's talking to his notes.
Exactly.
So immediately get rid of the notes and learn it by heart.
Sometimes I feel that note reading is somehow a defense mechanism.
Yes.
Because you cannot look at
Indeed,
people's
indeed.
eyes, diba?
And if you're dealing with figures, for example, and oh my God, you cannot afford to make mistakes. So what you do is there's an art in reading, and it's not reading word for word, but read it beforehand several times over, and then glance, and then the first two words, now you know the rest. It's just scan, if you really must.
And then you go back to your audience.
Yes, always at the audience. And some people just cannot stand that looking at eyes of the audience. So what you do, especially if you're new at this, scan the audience and look for a friendly pair of eyes.
I do that. I
Yes.
do that all the time.
When you can see somebody smiling, there, focus on him, and then slowly, slowly gaze at the next few people there. And once you've looked at the center, remember the left, you also need to take care of the left side of the audience. And then
Yes.
later you go to the right, and you remember the last portions of the audience. Also
is
look at them.
true.
I mean, before the end of your talk, you got to be able to connect with every part of
That
the
is
audience.
very, very important.
Right.
Now, I realize bakit pala nilalagay natin yung mga friends and kamag-anak
Yes.
right in
Yes.
front. So we will always have an easy access to friendly faces.
Right, right.
Very true. Lei, you mentioned body language. Okay. Now, I said that's one of my favorite topics because I feel that in communication, or actually in image, that is a very good foundation. Once you are aware of the body language, parang may edge ka na kagad. Now, internationally speaking, okay, sa pagka-Pinoy natin, I know that there are certain original body language that only us Pinoys would understand each other. Are you familiar with this?
Like what?
Like what? Eto. Example.
Example.
Tatanungin ka, where is the washroom? Over there.
Yeah, the nose.
They would use the lips, and I've never seen it anywhere in the world. I mean,
yes.
I've only traveled like half, pero
Right.
you traveled more. So, meron bang ibang
At saka yung
culture na
pointing
ganun?
fingers.
Yes.
Pointing
Yes.
fingers.
Nasaan?
Yeah, very,
Ayun, no?
ayun, nandun. Actually, the first thing you should actually practice when you go out of the Philippines is open hand gesture.
Right.
Avoid this, avoid the pointing fingers. It's kind of rude then, di ba?
Yes, yes.
So it goes back to behavior and communication. So you are
Right.
behaving accordingly, and yet you are communicating.
Right.
So give us more tips. When you go out of the country, you should learn how to use open palms,
Right.
Open hand
Yes.
gesture.
open hand gestures.
Even the way you sit down. If you go to a Muslim country, watch the way you position the sole of your feet. Because it's actually very offensive when you actually sit down, yung naka-de-quatro, na
Siyempre, hindi ko
paa,
magawa
yung sole
yun.
of the feet
Yung
na ganyan.
nakikita
ang sole of feet facing
I
that
see.
person.
Okay, okay.
That actually is very offensive for them.
Okay, okay.
Because that's the dirtiest part of the body.
I
for them.
read, I'm not so sure, I read yung tapping of the head
Tapping of the head, that's actually in Thailand.
in Thailand.
Tayo, di ba mahilig tayo yung nagaganyan?
Oh, yung cute
lalo
ng
na
bata.
pagbata. For them, no. That's a big no-no because that's where the soul enters, actually. So that's very
no
sacred
touch,
for them,
yeah.
no touching. So even sa ating mga Filipino, yung mahilig tayong humawak
Yes,
ng
yes.
shoulder,
Likod,
ng
oo,
likod,
na
ganyan,
ganyan,
ng hagod.
yes.
You have
Sa
to be
atin,
very...
lambing
Oh,
yun.
lambing yun sa atin. In other cultures, that's actually, you could be accused of like sexual harassment kaagad.
okay.
So
Sa
watch
atin,
the body
lambing
language.
lang,
Oo,
ano?
oo. Tsaka yung hampas. Mahampas tayo. Oy,
Oy, kumusta?
Kumusta?
Ganyan sa atin.
Oo, sa kanila, very offensive yun. Attacking kaagad yun.
And this is communication.
And that's
diba?
communication, unfortunately. That's a form of saying hi, hello to someone.
That's for us, but for them, it's really offensive.
Right.
So you go back to the tip na you need to really research on where you're going.
Exactly.
Diba?
Even just the nodding of the head.
Right,
Nodding of the head.
To some culture, that's actually a no.
It's true. I was in Qatar a few weeks ago, and then one lady was like this. So everybody was nodding their heads like this. So everybody. Tapos one lady was going like this. Yung pala, Indian. Kaya, I was,
okay.
ang bait-bait niya. That's right, that's right. So naku-confuse ako. So then I realized, oo nga. At first I didn't know. Tapos lumapit siya sa akin, hello, ganyan pakilala siya. Then I realized, Indian pala. Kaya, so iba't ibang culture. Okay. Now, what else? Ano bang pwede nating tip? Dina, let's say for example, I have this, anong tawag doon? Yung kunwari ako Kapampangan. Sometimes I forget about my P and my F. Bumabaliktad minsan. Is there any way that we can do to...
Indeed.
Yeah.
In fact, you may not realize it, but I had a very strong Visayan accent. And people used to laugh at me because my I's were pronounced as E's, my O's were pronounced as U's, because we easily interchange that because it's a regional accent. The only way we can get rid of that is rehearse. What I did before was, at that time we did not have CDs. So I bought a tape recorder and several blank tapes, and I would tape my speeches. And then I would listen to the mispronounced words, and I corrected it. There were words, believe it or not, that I rehearsed over 100 times. But it's so well worth it because after a while, I began shedding off the Visayan accent. Those
So
are things you can do.
That
Yes.
goes back to awareness pa rin.
Yes, yes.
So if you are aware of your mistakes, and a lot of people, they would not admit that. Diba? So there's humility in you.
Indeed.
Then you realize,
There's
and then
also
you really
something,
cure it.
yeah,
diba?
that is very important in communication. We need to watch out whether we're speaking in a monotone, because some people will say, how are you? How do you do? So,
Walang emotions.
like that.
No
It's like,
emotions at all.
it is so,
It lacks sincerity.
yeah, it's like he is speaking from the head and his heart is not there. So you may begin to doubt him. So we really emphasize when we coach or when we do our seminars is to do intonation.
Intonation.
In fact, to make it simpler and easier to understand is put in the waves. Yes, sabi namin. So para kang lumalangoy, ganon, oh. How are you? How are you?
That is
Ganon.
true because that's how you tell stories, diba? Kasi
Right.
kung hindi, walang words lang
And there's
yun.
something else you may not realize. Asians and Filipinos especially, when we talk, especially in English, what happens is the last few words of the sentence goes down. They go down like that. So you
How
don't
are
hear
you?
it anymore.
Diba?
You don't hear it anymore. So we always say, bring it up. Like, so, towards the end you will say, oh, that's why he did it. See? Because sometimes Filipinos, by nature, they would say, oh, that's why he did it. And you don't know anymore what he said the last few words.
Bumababa
you go,
na.
yeah.
So the tip there is, whenever you talk, you try to put it up.
Yeah,
And then
towards the
it
end.
sounds more enthusiasm
Yes,
as well.
yes.
Diba? May enthusiasm.
Right. So
Very
put your
good.
heart in it, and you really need to practice though.
Practice. And it will really help if you
Right.
get to listen to
Right,
yourself,
right.
no? And it's very easy nowadays. Cellphone na nga lang, you get to record yourself.
Right.
That is true. But you know
Right.
what? Ang isa sa mga naging fear ko, when I first heard myself on TV or on the radio, sabi ko, sino yan? Parang you couldn't recognize your own voice, honestly. How did you feel when you first heard your voice?
Of course, it's kind of strange, but afterwards I said, oh, I can actually make that better. So I use that as some kind of a leverage to go even better.
Yes.
So I made it a habit that every speech should be taped. so that I can correct myself.
Wow, every speech is
Yes,
taped.
yes. So
the
I
best
correct
way
myself.
really is to correct oneself,
Yes,
no?
yes.
And admit that you have mistakes.
Right,
Now,
right.
iba naman kasi kapag pag big crowd, that's how you do it, di ba?
Yes.
Pero umiiba din ang tono pag one-on-one. And you
Yes.
do a lot of the one-on-one sessions, di ba? Sa mga healing sessions. Now, I wonder, how do you adjust yourself? Because sometimes, well, most of the time, you do have a big crowd. And then, sometimes you have one-on-one. Ano yung transition mo doon? How do you...
I guess it's just being more conscious. Okay, change audience na ako ngayon.
Okay.
Okay, change audience na ako. This is more of a one-on-one, then it has to be a lot calmer.
Parang ganyan ka.
It's more of a the counseling voice.
Exactly,
That's a
exactly.
counseling voice comes
I cannot counsel because I'm always hyper. I'm
Yes,
always
yes.
excited.
Counseling voice.
So I'm
So-
listening to Lay. Parang oo nga, teka lang, kakalma lang ako.
Counseling voice. Parang, take a deep breath, okay? Ibang hat naman ang suot ko ngayon. Okay. alright.
That's right. So ibang-iba pa din.
Right.
And when people actually tell you, like, oh, you sound like this, you should take it seriously yung feedback. Pag may nagbibigay ng feedback sa'yo, at pag-isipan mo, tama ba? Pag isa, dalawa na ang nagsasabi sa'yo na that's how you sound, I think you should make a conscious effort of, recognizing that, na there's a way to improve this. Oo. Yung sabi nga nila, an admittance of a weakness is a sign of courage.
That is very
The only time when you've acknowledged that there's actually a weakness that needs to be developed, then that's the only time you're going to improve.
Diba? And it's all about self-improvement.
Right.
Diba? That is why we are in the business of
Right.
self-improvement. I love our business, don't you?
Right.
Diba? I mean, this is a life. Well, this is a job wherein you get to touch people's lives, and whether they remember or not, it makes you fulfilled.
It's
Diba?
how you make them feel that
Yeah.
makes the difference.
Yeah, would you like to hear what is, according to Dorothy Sarnoff, my
Yes,
role
please.
model, what is the best kind of voice? She described it this way. The best voice is the one that sounds pleasant,
Pleasant,
friendly, and well-modulated.
pleasant, friendly,
Friendly
and
and
well-modulated. Yun.
Yes.
May poise yun, ano? Yes, very, very nice. Now, Dina, I know that you recently launched a book, and I do have a copy. I'm
Yes.
treasuring it.
Yeah.
I'd like you to show the book, Dina.
All right. Well, it's beyond looking good because actually it's dedicated to everybody who wants to go beyond just beauty.
That's true. And I think everybody does.
Right.
No?
I believe that while appearance catches everybody's attention first, but then what stays on in people's minds, in their memories, is how you behaved yourself.
Is how you behave yourself, of course.
And then if you want to reach out to even more people and have closer connections, communication cements it. So this is a compilation of articles of different topics that deal with appearance, behavior, and communication.
Oh, perfect,
Right.
perfect.
Beyond looking good.
Beyond Looking Good
Right.
by Miss Dina H. Loomis. So, is it available in the bookstores right now?
At the moment, no. I'm selling fast in America and other countries.
All right. If they are interested, where can I find
Amazon.
it?
All right, we're working on Amazon.com, but they can look me up in Facebook and LinkedIn. That's how I'm getting orders from abroad. I'm
Okay.
getting more orders from abroad than here.
Very
Would
nice.
you believe
very
that?
nice. Congratulations, Dina.
Thank you.
So-
And by the way, the good news. For me, it's more of, I'm so happy also for the Philippines. It's a recognition that the U.S. Census Bureau actually ordered 1 carton of my books. And they're celebrating National Women's Month in America
Yes.
in April. And they wanted me to go there so I can head or lead the discussion. They're giving the books to women leaders of different industries in America.
Wow.
And then they will discuss the book to celebrate National Women's Month.
Very good. Very
Because
good
I could not
job,
go there. Yeah,
good
I know. It's just
job.
that I couldn't go there. So what happened is they are arranging a video conferencing so that all these women leaders can ask questions and they can discuss whatever part of the book that they
Galing.
find interesting. And I just feel like, the Filipinos are being recognized more and more in different aspects.
Worldwide.
Indeed. And so I'm happy for that we're being
Well,
recognized.
just to let you know that that book became my inspiration in finishing my own
Thank you.
book.
I'm so happy
When I
to
saw
know
that,
that.
Dinah did it, I should make money. And then I started writing again.
Right.
So
Great.
that happened, okay? Now, is there anything else that you'd like to plug?
Oh, I'm
Yeah,
actually,
please, big plug.
actually
Now is your chance. Now is your
plugging.
chance.
I'm planning to conduct a workshop for those who are interested to become a cabin crew.
A cabin crew.
Cabin
Ang
crew.
dami
Yes,
yan.
I'm going to
Great.
conduct a workshop sometime in April. So for those of you who are interested, please get in touch with me on livingglobal.image@gmail.com or 0917-800-8410.
Okay, say that again, please. 0917.
0917-800-8410.
May madaling matandaan yon. All right.
Dali lang.
So, thank you. Thank you very much. I am so excited and I am truly, truly honored that you guys came over for this.
Thank you for having us.
Ang saya. Okay, so we have learned the importance of taking care of your appearance, the effective and proper and positive behavior, and lastly, improving your communication skills. So, thank you very much. Thank you
Thank you,
so
Abby,
much.
for
It's
having
a
us.
great
It's a pleasure. It's an
being
honor
here.
to be here.
Yes, yes, indeed.
Thank you.
And congratulations again.
Yes, yes. And just to remind everybody, my good friend Pido Aguilar would like to invite all of you for his Fall in Love with Improvs Games on February 26 to 28 from 8 a.m. till 5 p.m. in the afternoon at the AIM Conference Center. If you're interested, please visit the Facebook of Pido Aguilar for complete registration details. And on our next episode, we will be talking about preparing for a job interview. Of course, the do's and the don'ts. So join us here on Beauty and Beyond. This is Abigail Arenas de Leon, and thank you for watching.